What's up, Glenwood? This is molar mass or gram formula mass. And again, this is for Chapter 7 materials. Go to mrwiedeman.com and grab the worksheet that looks like this. This is gram formula mass worksheet 1, listed on one of the days of my website on the schedule. So what I'm going to do is go through what I'm expecting of you whenever you find what I'm calling the molar mass of a compound. And this is also called gram formula mass, so it's going to be the same thing. Reason why it's in parentheses. Nice. All right, so anyway, here's the reason why we do this. 1 mole, abbreviated MOL, is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. It's a counting number, just like dozen is. You have a dozen eggs, you have 12. If you have a mole of something, you have this many things of it. If I had a mole of these markers, I would have that many markers. It would be an insane number. You move the decimal over 23 times. It's a huge number. So, if you have this many, particles of a particular element, or atoms of an element, you have 1 mole of that element. For example, if you had 2 moles, it would be 2 times this number. 1.5 moles would be 1.5 times this number. Okay? So if you have this number of a particular element in atoms, you have a certain number of grams of that element. So there's an easy way to find that. So here's how you do this. You need to list out the elements that are in this compound, and then you need to use the periodic table, multiply how many there are, add them together, and then put a certain unit on, which I'll explain. So list out the elements in this compound. In this compound, I see H, S, and O. How many of each do you have? Well, it looks like I have 2 hydrogens, so I put a 2 and then a times sign. I'll show you why. And then S's, I see 1. Oxygens, I see 4. So, now you need to use your periodic table, because now I have my numbers in the compounds. I need to find hydrogen on my periodic table, which is right here. And the number underneath it is 1.008. Round this to the hundreds place. That's going to round to 1.01. So each hydrogen weighs 1.01. That times 2 is 2.02. Sulfur, find it on the periodic table. That is here, 32.066 rounds to 32.07. 32.07 times itself is the same thing. Oxygen, that is 15.99999. That is always going to round to 16. So very quickly, all you need to do is multiply 16 by 4, you get 64. Then you add all of these together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm doing that off to the side here. So let's take 2.02 plus 32.07 plus 64. I get 98.09. That's a terrible 8. And you put the unit grams per mole afterwards. Whenever you do this work and find it the way I did using the periodic table, you have the molar mass of an element. That's a 98. Okay? And you put grams per mole afterwards, and this is why. If you have 1 mole of this particular substance, H2SO4, you have this many grams of it. The number always sticks with gram, and 1 goes with mole. Okay? And that's how you find it. That's it. The whole entire worksheet, you're doing that. So I'm just going to do one more example. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This one has parentheses, but you're going to do it the exact same way. List out the elements that you see. I see N, H, P, and O. List out how many you see. Again, if it's inside of a parenthesis like previous videos, you multiply it by the little coefficient, by the little subscript on the outside. So this is N times 3. I just have 3 of them. This is 4 times 3. That would be 12. I see 1 P and 4 O's. Let's go ahead. Oh, I'm skipping a step. I need now to find the number on the periodic table. Okay, so that should be a times sign. That's what that is. Okay, so that should be a times, not an equals. Now, I'm going to find the numbers of each of these things on the periodic table and round them to the hundreds place. So N, right here, is 14.007. That rounds to 14.08. Sorry, 14.01. What? Take a look at that again. Sorry, I'm going too fast here. That's going to round to 14.01. That's what I thought. Let's round hydrogen. Again, we did this before. 1.008 rounds to 1.01. P, phosphorus, is going to be right here. That is going to round to 30.97. And oxygen is always rounding to 16, like I showed you before. So let's go ahead and total these up. That's 14.01 times 3, so that's equals 42.03. 12 times 1.01, 12.12. This times itself is the exact same thing. And this equals 64. Add these all together. So that is going to be 42.03 plus 12.12 plus 30.97 plus 64. I get 149.12. And the unit, grams per mole. That is all you do. Okay? You do the exact same thing every single time that you do a molar mass problem. You find the numbers of each in the compound, you find the element on the periodic table, you round it to the hundredths place, you add them all together, you put grams per mole afterwards. That is it. You are now masters of molar mass.